Russ has gotten back the reins, and we just want to clear the smoke. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Back with Russ, and we're touching base on what happened to Narrows, right? For those who don't know, I had to actually take Narrows Labs off my list, and that's because all association to Russ was lost for a while. And yeah, it point blank, honestly, went extremely downhill to a point where Russ has gotten back the reins, and we just want to clear the smoke and let Russ speak it out honestly, because we're no bullshit here. And for a while, Narrows wasn't upholding the brand at all, was it, Russ?
No, wasn't at all. You know, and that was the worst part too, because when you put your work,
That was your baby.
yeah, when you put everything into it, like honestly, that was the first business that I started when I got out of prison. It was like my savior. It was like my gateway to entrepreneurship, right? Now, granted, it wasn't like it is kind of like a great market entrepreneurship, but at the same time, it was my like entry.
Got you out of the mud, and
It got me out of the mud. So
you weren't, ruining your customers, right? You were treating all your customers with more customer service than most people on my list. And like for you, I never had to deal with no order issues. Whereas these other companies, it's like I'm constantly playing the nanny, even though I'm just an affiliate. With Narrows originally, I never had to do that shit. All of a sudden, you're moving on to bigger, better things. You have infinite age. You have more straight edge companies. And it seems like you gave the reins over to someone else. And I get like 50 messages, and I'm like, fuck this. And I removed it off the list. Like, what happened? And I just want to see Narrows back to where it was at. And that people ask me every day, like, bro, what happened to Narrows? Like, is Russ still involved with Narrows? Et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, the thing was with Narrows, right, is when I first started, I didn't have the money to hire a customer support staff, right? So I was actually working the phones, and I really treated people like they were my friends, because they are my friends. They're not just customers, they are giving me, they are my boss, right? So of course I treat customers like they're my boss. I treat them with the utmost respect because they allow me to do what I'm doing, and they allow me to get a living, earn a living from what I'm doing. So that's like the idea that I had, throughout building Narrows. And something that people don't realize is that experience is what creates a brand, right? Like, SARMs are SARMs. I mean, we can go into that in a little bit, about the quality of SARMs and so on and so forth. But really, you're buying an experience. It's like when you go to Gucci, when you go to any of these
you're going to get your shit in a timely manner. And if like, oh, I put the wrong address, or, I want to add something or remove something, these other companies, you're fucked. You're done. Like, it's in the air. With Narrows, you were actually able to interact with the staff and actually get like a normal e-commerce experience, which was very unheard of in this game.
Yeah.
And once that went away, it was a mess.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that when you go to certain companies, right, you're going to them, and you have a sense of security. You know that you are going to get your product, right? Like when you go to buy from Amazon, the reason why everybody loves Amazon is because you're guaranteed. They took away the risk in buying online.
Right. And that rewired everyone's brains to what is associated with online e-commerce. And
they set the standard.
Narrows was upholding that standard. And that's what made Narrows so popular on my list. Like, if you guys go check my source list down below, you'll see all the sources. Narrows was top 3, and it was on there like about 2 years less than some of the other sources. And that's just because people knew, hey, if I buy this and maybe like I want a refund, or maybe I want the order changed a little bit, you'll get an answer. The other companies, they ship once a month. If that, some of them. I mean, I've had to beef with some of these other owners multiple times where it's like, I never had to deal with that. And I was really disappointed when Narrows went downhill, but that's just like not on you because you moved on.
Well, I mean, I can't say that it's not on me. I have to take accountability. And, for me passing off the company to somebody and me not putting systems in place to make sure that my customers were treated right, that does fall on me,
Hmm.
in some way or
Well,
some,
you were
you
just
know,
assume that
but I
the
didn't,
level of
I'm not
standard
gonna say
would
I
be the
was.
same.
Yeah, well, I figure, people that do business, right? Everybody does business similarly,
Mm,
and because they do business similarly, I felt like I had we met eye to eye on that. You know what I'm saying? On how business
mm,
principles and stuff. So when they come in, right, they take over, they do good for a little bit, and then I start getting tons. I still have my messenger connected. I'm seeing everybody. Hey man, I didn't get my package. Hey man, I didn't get my package. So on and so forth. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I was like, oh, this is bad.
mm,
And it not only was like, okay, this is bad, but these are people that I know. Like these are
mm,
people that helped me when I got out of prison, become an entrepreneur, right?
mm,
And it didn't sit well with me, so I pretty much just, disconnected the website and I had to fight tooth and nail to get it back, the brand. And the reason
mm,
why I didn't move on to better things, something happened to where I could no longer be a part of it. It was too much risk at the time. So
mm,
it's not like there's nothing, I'm not going to say there's anything actually out of anything that I've done in my life when it comes to businesses. Narrows is by far my favorite, right? It has the
mm.
best customers. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the audience. It's something that I personally am involved in, with exercising, so on and so forth, working out, so I don't think I'd ever move on to anything better than Narrows because it's just like this the best business to me. The customers and the community and just the whole scene is cool. But I had
Mm.
to pass it on, just to remove myself from a situation. I
Right.
think
That's
we need to move on.
understandable. Well, as far as moving Narrows forward, so if you guys don't know, I actually added Narrows on to my list again about 3 weeks ago. I made a soft announcement on Instagram, and obviously, since Russ is the only ballsy guy that comes on here, says it how it is, and he's honest about it, right? I wanted to hear from his mouth to my audience because you're the only one. I've gave this offer to other guys, right? And you're the only one who will stand here and sit behind it. So you had a question to my audience
Yeah.
about the credit card issue versus you want to enter the market with more competitive prices with
Hmm.
Zelle. So pose the question to my audience and we'll see in the comments below because you don't want to make overpriced products. You see the way the market is.
Hmm.
And Narrows was known for its amazing pricing. When you try to come in competitive with CC processing, obviously the CC processors got to cut into your bullshit ridiculously because of what it is. And then you leaving the question to my audience of, do you want cheaper prices?
Yeah, so basically, is credit card processing worth the convenience of paying an extra 30%? Or
30%, guys.
30% is what
That's a
credit card
lot.
processing costs, you know? Or is it easier to just pay with Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, and then get a 30% discount? That's the question. And I know that a lot of my existing audience they were used to using Zelle, Venmo, Cash App. They were used to using
Hmm.
those, alternative payment methods.
Like anyone
So
with a bank account has Zelle,
yeah, the
you
only
know?
thing that credit is easy. Now I can say, the pros and cons between credit cards. Credit cards are easy, right? You can go in, type it in, your order's ready. You can also charge back, right? But if you trust the company, there's no reason that you need to charge back. You trust
Hmm.
them, you know that if you're buying from me, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. If you got a missing item, if it doesn't show up, whatever the
Right.
reason, you're gonna get your
And
order.
that's all customers want. People message me super frustrated with some of the other sources on my list. And by the way, these other sources will be good for months. And then all of a sudden, the ball drops. 2 months and like the whole I'm just like, what's going on over there, guys? Like with Narrows, it was never like that forever until you handed off the reins. So I feel
Mhm.
like that's what my audience wants is just like an authentic e-commerce experience that's very similar to Amazon. It feels professional. And I have been with you in person. I have seen all the work, the effort, the empire that you built. It's not like one guy in a little room just like mailing packages and shipping it out once a month, right? It was very well done, and your packages go out pretty much same day, if not next day, right? You're no bullshit.
They all go out the same day if it's before 3 p.m.
Yeah.
They go out the same day. Even on Saturdays they go out. That's just, because you want that Amazon experience. When you buy from Amazon, within 30, 45 minutes, you're getting a tracking number. So that was an experience that I wanted to replicate, because it's pretty much become the standard for buying online. And if you're not providing that experience, customers are going to go elsewhere. So yeah, that's the question. The question is cheaper
Yeah.
prices. I can knock 30%
You
off
got
right now off the existing prices on the website if I go back to Zelle and Venmo. And if you guys let me know today, I'll make the switch today and go back to a cheaper option and make it more affordable. Or is credit card processing worth the 30%? Now, I can't have both, unfortunately. Shopify doesn't allow that like WordPress does. So it's got to be either one or the other.
All right, guys, let me know in the comments below, and post some topics in the comments if you want Russ to touch on anything as far as, this market goes, or maybe we do some e-commerce content, right? He's the man, because, the reason why I have so much respect for Russ is he was a high school dropout, went into the fucking streets, didn't finish no bullshit high school, obviously became a kingpin for the wrong reasons. He fucking paid the piper, did his time, and now he's a self-made man, right? No college bullshit. He's with the college professors, obviously buying their classes and going to seminars and stuff. But I mean, he's probably one of the most motivational people out there when it comes to like a hustler mentality and fighting against the odds. So if you guys have business questions, I'd be happy to bring him on. I'm sure Russ would love to talk about business.
Mindset questions, or even if you're in the worst place in the world, because you got to realize, like, if you feel like you're in a bad place right now, just be happy that you're not sitting in a prison cell in a hostile environment where at any moment, someone's getting stabbed and you may have to get involved in that, and that's a daily threat. Just imagine if you get to wake up and go step outside and smell fresh air, you're in a good place, So, if you have any questions on how to get yourself out of a bad position, maybe you are dealing with a breakup, maybe you're dealing with depression, anything like that, that's something else that I've dealt with in my life, and I could probably help you out as well.
Appreciate having you on, Russ, man.
Thank you.